Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start by recognizing guests. Joey? Anything?
Yeah, so Alan asked me just to speak on what the ambulance has set up for this coming weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Joey or Andy or somebody just very briefly
So-
go over the preparations that ambulance and fire have already made, and I thank Andy and Joey for doing it in preparation for the eclipse.
So we're gonna have 2 ambulances on duty, 2 fully staffed ambulances from Friday night, 6 o'clock to Monday night at 6. I've upped some of the inventory. With Andy's suggestion, we've ordered some extra space blankets just in case we have some hypothermia cases. We've got a bunch extra hot packs. Oxygen is fully stocked. Trucks are all in tip-top shape, and we're ready to go on the ambulance side when this happens.
Fire is basically, we've asked members to hang around, be right there at the station, to be ready for, anything. I think, like I mentioned at the Eclipse meeting, a lot of it's gonna be public relations, ask where they could go or where can we get some food or, anything like that. We've added some extra bottles of water just in case we have people that, are looking for something like that. And we're just there to help. That's basically what we're there for.
That's all I have.
Carolyn?
I just want to say, first of all, thank you, Wally, for the letter. I know what you guys do, it's a hard job and I wouldn't want it, but anyways, I want to request that at any meetings that are held up in the town hall upstairs, that you use the microphones, because it is totally impossible.
To hear anything.
Totally impossible.
Yeah.
And, but I really, really do appreciate that letter, Wally. I thank you very much for
You're
that.
welcome.
And I hope that when people see that the mics are being used, that more people will attend the meetings, because we've got to get this town back on track.
Thank you. John?
Okay, just remember the planning commission hearing for the change of the zoning district is next Monday night, and I will go there to answer any zoning questions for the people, but it would be nice if a select board member could
I plan to attend.
attend.
I'll be there as well.
And also, could you have the town crew pick up this table and, well, the dog cage may be gone now. I see someone going down the street this afternoon on a kid's wagon with a big crate, so maybe the crate's
Is that the table that you were talking about pre-meeting?
Yeah,
It's gone?
yeah, so I watched a girl pick it up and walk that way with it. This
The dog
afternoon.
cage or the table too?
Both.
Both?
Okay.
So they may be gone now.
Yeah.
But, and I did send the landlord a letter.
Okay. Okay. You guys all together?
I think so, yeah.
If you want to just introduce yourselves, starting from left to right.
Hi, my name is Kelly Johnson. Tracy Combs.
Tracy over at Animal Control.
Tina Combs.
Penny Santy.
And you guys are here
I'm not sure.
for,
That lady. I don't know.
oh,
Who is that lady? She with us too?
that's Rowena.
Okay.
You're not with these ladies, correct?
No,
Okay.
but I'll make comments, so I know.
Okay. So, do one of you want to speak, or you want to each take turns speaking?
It's between you and me. Okay.
I'm pretty much here because there's an issue with a resident's dogs. Has been for many, many years. There's been a court order against her to keep a double fence up or the dogs to be on a leash. And my phone has been doing nothing but blowing up over these dogs. And it's not so much like it's a little dog getting on someone's lawn. These are newfies. These are big dogs. These are dangerous dogs, but they're coming 2, 3 at a time in packs. And many, many years ago, you guys can all look at this for who wasn't on the select board. Alan, I think, was probably familiar with it, but this is some of the damage that these dogs have done to another dog over the years. They will tear them apart.
Yep.
It's to the point that, I love dogs, but it's to the point that the people that bought the house next door, which I don't even know their names, but
It's Kelly.
okay, well,
I'm one of them.
they have their kids' toys areas and stuff, and they can't go in their yard. Penny can't let her dogs out. She has a golden retriever that had almost shredded to pieces. And I know the town's working on it, because I came up and the girls had to pull the court order and see and stuff like that. So I'm trying to tell all these guys, it's not like it's being ignored, it is a town thing, because the town took this individual to court years ago. And she did well for a while. But she's a loose cannon, not gonna beat around the bush. And I don't know if over the winter, maybe part of the fence got broke or got down or got what. I don't go there. One time, I told the town when I first started animal control, that's your problem, not mine. She's came at me with a gun before, she's sent her dogs at me before, and I'm not afraid of dogs, but I'm just flat out not doing it. And I told the state police the same, if they're so worried about it, they can go do it. But, so the next step to me, I don't know the legal aspect or what the select board wants to do, but the next step to me is this, I don't know if you have to see if that court order is still valid. And if it's not, it needs to be readdressed. And if it is, she needs to have it to her. And I don't mean by mail, I mean, my animal control report for March was crazy. I've had the state police calling me nonstop, I've had the sheriffs, I've had everybody on Pleasant Street and Golf Course contacting me. And it's just, and I feel bad, it's not the dog's fault, it's the owner's fault.
Yep.
But, and it wouldn't be as bad even if like one dog got loose once in a while. But she has so many and they're such big dogs that like 2 or 3 are coming at a time.
And they're typically not registered or vaccinated.
That is also in the court order. They have to be vaccinated, have to be up to date, there's a list of things that has to be addressed with this woman. And she did good with it for quite a while. But usually every time, this time of year, I hate to say it, but I get 1 or 2 calls. But this year, it's slammed, absolutely slammed. And like I said, they go into a pack mode when there's 3, 4 of them and they're 150, 200 pounds each, and they'll shred anything.
Yeah.
Person, kid, another dog.
And they've been up to Maxine Fires, called me, and she's
So I'm
scared to
pretty
death
much
of
here for them.
dogs.
I'm not afraid of them. I've walked those 3 dogs home many occasions. Walked right to her door, knocked on her door, tell her, Adrian, your dogs are out. She'll open the door, let them back in. Like maybe 3 weeks ago, I went all around the house knocking on the doors, knocking on the windows. The dogs were jumping on me. She wouldn't let them in. Last Sunday morning, they had me pinned to my garage door. When they stand on their hind legs, their front paws are right here and their face is right here. They bit my ponytail, they bit the back of my head. We have lots of little kids in that area. We have 5 dogs between our 4 neighbors. We've got 5 kids, the youngest being 2, the oldest being 7.
Just a little.
We spend a lot of time outside with the dogs, with the pets. Her dog is hardly ever unhooked. And last week, on 2 different occasions, we had to run out in our socks to get him in before they came to him. Now they're coming up on our porch, peeing on our porch.
Peeing on my patio furniture. Also, the dogs are, in general, just very not well taken care of. They're very matted. They have poop caked in their fur. I can't attest to their weight, if they're at a healthy weight, because they're so furry, you know. But I have personally seen multiple attacks at Kelly's house, who is my neighbor. I've ran over in the dark, in the morning, to help her break it up, because it's hard to get 4 dogs apart from each other, you
I've
know.
broken up just within the last 3 weeks twice. Literally got in there and separated them.
I saw 3 of them chasing somebody on a bicycle Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So,
I will tell
Marissa,
you.
you call,
I've addressed it with the state police and I've told them the town's concerns with our animal control going up there, you know, it's
Oh, I've told them
You know,
too.
it's dangerous. I mean, they're unpredictable, she's unpredictable, and I have not heard, they don't call back.
No.
When we called,
It's hard when
they
I'm not
laughed
getting
at
a
us.
response
As soon as
either.
they heard her name, they started laughing at us.
When I call the state police, they say they have to wait until I get hurt or my dogs get hurt before they'll do anything.
But
Now, I
if
can't
there's
afford a vet bill.
no,
Oh, my
if
dog's
there's a
already
court order, it should be still in effect.
That's what I
So is
think
that something we can call about and see if the order's still in effect? 'Cause I don't think they run out.
The court order, yeah, we just have to check up on that,
Yeah.
I was just
So-
waiting.
If you were to make police aware there's a court order
Yeah.
against her already, would that help?
Yeah, it's their
It might,
position.
yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
Okay.
If
It
you
might,
can
yeah, I
find out
can-
if that ran out or not and
Yep.
get hold of the police.
And I dealt with the state police because the sheriff wasn't on duty here the day that another issue had come up, so.
It's just, I think, when she's addressed, it's not something that emailed or something, I think.
Yeah, it needs to be
Because it's a court
hand
order,
delivered.
a law enforcement
Law
officer needs to
enforcement,
hand
yes.
it to her.
Yep.
Yep.
But I will tell you, I've talked to the state police several times, and they know who she is,
Yep.
and
The sheriff's
one of them
too.
said they had just cited her to court, and she went on to open the door, and it was, I mean, she's chained herself to the dumpster, she's ran out there naked, you name it. Last summer, I will tell you, a Canadian was going by her house on a bike, and the dog ripped that Canadian off that bike.
Well, then I would say we'll continue to work calling the state police, getting, I would recommend or suggest you call your state representatives and tell them your experiences with the police. Each and every one, like, laughed at me, said I had to be attacked before they would do anything. Those are the type of things our state representatives need to hear, because that's not an acceptable response from any law enforcement officer.
They said they don't deal with dogs, that's the town officer's job, or the town dog control officer's job. And I said that there's a conflict, that she's not able to go up there, and they instructed that I reach out to surrounding town dog control.
Which is totally illegal, every town does it wrong.
If there's a court order, I would pursue
Yeah,
that
we
first,
can
and then
let
at
the
that
police know
point,
about
they
that
will
and
have
see
to
what
respond, the police will have to
I'm
respond to it.
wondering if we
I
should
mean, if
call
there's-
our attorney, because if she's in violation of a court order,
Mhm.
what are the consequences? What can we do?
Yeah.
Can you do that as well, Marissa?
Yep, I can.
Perfect.
And if they're waiting for someone to get hurt, I mean, her youngest, her puppy, is bigger than her 2-year-old.
And you
And
see in
3 of
that
those
picture what
dogs
they do.
on that little 2-year-old, she would never make it. It
Yeah.
shouldn't have to come to that.
No, we should not have to come to that.
Because if she's not only in violation of a court order, but if they're not registered or vaccinated, find out from the attorney what steps have to be taken or
Yeah,
can be
can be
taken
taken,
at
yeah.
that point.
And I certainly can attest that she is a very, very, very dangerous person.
Yeah. I was told not to go up there anymore to bring the dogs back because of the gun situation. But I figured I was helping her out, you know, her dogs are running loose, bring them back, let her know, let them in.
Yeah.
This time she wouldn't even open the door for me.
She currently does have something on her where she is not legally allowed to have guns, but that does not mean she doesn't have them because she is off her medication again. So
Legally, she's not supposed to drive either. She tried to
She
hit,
does.
she tried to hit me with her car last summer,
she does.
right out front of my
Yeah,
house.
so we need to address that for sure. That should be a priority, yeah.
She also wears a blade about this
Yeah, I
long,
know,
strapped right there.
I know. Trust me, I know.
I know.
It's tough, because I don't think the state police, the state has kind of removed our ability to locally enforce things such as this.
Right.
Then to throw it back on us.
Issue,
Yes, she
and,
does.
oh, she has a diagnosed mental
You know,
health
like-
issue. there's
Like, I mean, we can do it like, correct me if I'm wrong, most people you can deal with and you can handle it locally, but when it ratchets up, we don't have the enforcement capability locally to do that,
Right. We have to
if
rely
the
on
police
police.
won't support us.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is Andre is really, really good. Like any animal thing I have.
Yeah.
He's really, really good, to help me address anything or do
Yeah.
anything. So I know it, or I can't say no, but I feel as if for some reason she did have to be hand delivered this and, okay, we need to get back on track with this, that he would probably be willing to do it.
Okay.
I think
I mean, nobody
She-
wants to go up there, I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie to
no.
you. But, I mean, she just was cited for court because she went after a state trooper. She's gotten,
So that's why they're laughing at me.
she's gotten fights with sheriffs.
Yeah.
She's chained herself naked to a dumpster so they wouldn't take the dumpster. I mean, nobody wants to deal with her. But I've had people call.
Somebody has to.
Sounds like
Somebody's got to.
When it
Right.
comes
mental
to
health issue.
a child
It
getting
is.
hurt or another animal getting tore up,
And this is
Yeah,
proof
they
they've
need
already
to, but
done
I'm
it.
just
I will
saying.
step in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dog has already been attacked. We had to take him to the vet. He had to get it was only just one little bite. I have a picture if you want to see it. If you don't, that's fine. But they had him kind of like hung in the air a little bit, and I was like running at them, kind of acting like a crazy woman. And thankfully Tracy kind of ran over, and she ran over in her socks, and she kind of she got the kids back because the kids were trying to chase after him with a stick, and it was like a whole fiasco. And like all of this started, I don't remember when, it was the windstorm. Do you remember when it was like 50-mile-an-hour
Oh,
wind?
it was bad. Yeah.
And all of a sudden the dogs started coming down. We're at the top of my hill, you can see where the fence is now broken. And that's kind of, the fence got broken, and now that they kind of don't have any.
But part of her court order was to maintain a
Maintain
double
a
It's a
fence,
double,
yeah.
it's supposed to be a double fence, not a
And-
single fence, a double fence.
Well, when we moved in, it wasn't a double fence, it was only a single fence,
Yeah, it's
so.
supposed to be.
When you
So-
go up there at any given time, she has one tied to the tree in the front yard. The rest are all running loose.
The leash is long enough, you
Even
can't get to her door.
before the fence went
How
down.
many dogs total does she have?
I don't know because I'm not gonna say it's a puppy mill, but it's close to it, and I've worked with animals all my life because she does breed those dogs
I
and
know
she
they stole
does
the
sell
big
them.
ones.
So
Too
I
late,
have
too
no
bad.
idea because I've had people come out of the house and tell me there's a dozen of them because of puppies in there and stuff, so I really don't have any idea, but she's got a few.
Yeah, it needs to be addressed.
May I ask a question? Has she ever paid her water bill and sewer bill? Has that ever been paid? Because I know at one time she did not have water and she did not have sewer. And I do know that human feces was piled up in the toilet,
Mm-hmm.
way up.
We saw pictures, she posted it online and said it was the fault of the town of Richford.
That's gross.
Well, we know her, so we know who's telling the truth.
So she's still without water and sewer, does anybody know?
She's
Can
a
we look on
very
that
dangerous
somewhere else?
cannon.
She was on our
She
water
was?
system.
She wasn't shut off?
I don't know.
No.
Not that I know.
Not that I'm
Okay.
aware of, no, she's never been shut off.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you offhand if she's current or not on the bills, I don't know that piece of it, but.
So Marissa, you're gonna continue to work with, contact the
Yep,
state
I'll
police
contact the state police again.
and our town
and-
attorney.
Yep, I had heard that you guys were all coming, so I wanted to wait for this meeting, but I'm gonna contact them again, let them know about the court order. We'll contact our town attorney and see what we can do, if it's still standing or.
And I think if you do reach out to representatives, that will help a lot.
And I can email,
What's that?
I can email, Tracy. I can email you the, I think it's Lisa Hango, I have her
Yeah,
email.
Lisa will
I
be
know
a good
Lisa
one.
well, I groomed her dog.
So, she's a good one to speak to.
She used to be.
Yeah, Miss Hango.
Groomed her dog before, but
Okay,
So what, my question is, how far can we go protecting our family and our dogs?
If a dog's attacking your dog, you shoot it. And I'm a dog lover, but I don't care, you can't allow that.
Not by law, you don't.
I remember talking about that.
Not by law, you don't.
We show them away, we get them to go home, and they come right back.
It's sad to say because
That's-
honestly, if it
That's
was
what
me,
Andre told Chris.
Yeah,
shoot 'em.
Yeah.
he told me the same
Attack
thing
your
up to the
dog.
I'm gonna
house.
say it's a self-defense.
It is.
It's a self-defense if they're attacking.
Right,
If they're not attacking, and you don't have
Right,
proof of
right.
attacking,
I
Then
really
I
would not
wouldn't.
rather go that route,
Me
but
No.
she kinda leaves no choice if
She
she
leaves no
can't.
choice.
What if
handle
Andre
them
were to
and
go
handle
up
her
there
dog.
and, I mean, if it's a fence issue, like, I mean, to solve this right now, like, can we like fix where she said the fence flew
It's not
down?
other people's
So-
responsibility
I
to fix the
I
fence.
understand that, but it's also our responsibility to keep kids safe, and I mean, that's what I worry about is the safety of the families that are living there, and if it's just a repair, I know it's not our responsibility, but.
And my only concern is she was so paranoid when Jean and
She
George
is.
lived
Well, that's
there
what I'm
and they
saying.
mowed the edge of their lawn, that was their side.
She'll come at you.
She would come at them.
That's what I'm saying, if we put a plan together to say, hey, we noticed the fence is down, you can't fix it, can we help you fix it? Can we do something creative to stop the dogs from getting out, you know? We don't wanna hurt the dogs, we want you to have your dogs, you know, and
I'd be lucky if you can get to her to even try to start that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first step is to contact our town attorney, see where the court order stands, and then kind of go from there, because we don't want to be any more liable.
We don't wanna be liable, and I think we're dealing with multiple issues here.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot
There's
of
the
issues.
violation of the court order,
Mm-hmm.
there's the temperament of the dogs, and then there's also the fact that they're not registered. I mean, that's state law.
And they're not being
Or
maintained if they're
vaccinated.
attacking
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they're not registered here, we have no proof that they're vaccinated, so.
And you know, I think law enforcement is probably not gonna deal with it because they're animals, they're domestic animals. And I think they're just gonna refer everything to Tracy.
Oh, they do.
And,
I know.
So I think any remedy is gonna have to be a legal one, and we're gonna need our attorney
Yeah.
to advise us what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
In previous years too, the reason the fence maintained itself and did all that was because she has had people like Cedric Coda and Diane Coda and all them that helped her as much as they possibly could. They helped her with the dogs, that if she wasn't around, they fed them. Cedric would help keep that fence done in the spring, so they tried, but I don't think she might have that link
He's
or friendship
gone.
anymore.
He's
No, they
gone.
don't.
Yeah,
he's
so
not.
that's gone, so that's when, you
Yeah,
know,
so
so she had help. I think a lot of it is right now, she doesn't have the help, but the way she is, nobody dares to help her.
Right.
What about the
Alrighty.
mental issue of that? I mean, could that be? Could
Come to
the
a
state of
safer
Vermont, mental health get involved?
I don't think that's a first step. I think you let
I
us
think we gotta go
pursue
to
this,
court.
and
Yeah.
we'll go from there. If you
Hopefully
guys have nothing further, we'll check in, Marissa will work on it, we'll see what we can do on our end.
And just, the town just keep me posted because
Yeah.
they'll call me to find out.
Yeah.
I will. I'll let you know.
Guaranteed.
Going back around the room, Rowena?
Yeah, just kind of staying on the topic of with the police, has there been any progress as to getting police coverage? Because, you know, there's a lot that's going on in the town that, you know, people spinning their tires, just vehicles up and down the road, and it, you know, excessive speed, all that type of thing. And I know we've had problems with the sheriff's department being undermanned and some with the state police. I know you tried to reach out to other towns to see if they had it. Has there been any further,
Unfortunately, no, there's no positive to report on that.
are you still going to
We're still,
continue to
we're-
try to?
yeah, I mean,
Yes.
after last week's meeting, a group of us went to an Enosburg meeting. Enosburg is exploring, potentially starting their own police service. And so we went and listened to that to see where it might go. I think everything comes down to, this circles back to staffing, and unfortunately, the environment that the United States currently has created for police, and makes it a very undesirable profession to enter. So, in some regards, not everybody is reaping what they sow, but a large portion of the property of our citizens who are more anti-police are now kind of feeling the repercussions of being anti-police. And it's not something you can't immediately staff up instantaneously. Probably it was also, like many professions, it was not a profession people have been going into for years, so we now have more retiring than entering, or more leaving overall. Way more are leaving than entering, so it's a domino effect, and there's no, as anybody that attended the meeting last summer upstairs at the town hall, there's really no good immediate solution, and it's sad that it's that way, but we continue to explore.
Also along that line, with the things that ATVs and the side-by-sides and stuff, we have an ordinance that they can be in the town, but seems that the people with the side-by-sides, they're very respectful, you do not have a problem with them. But the ATVs, you've got them unregistered, young kids without helmets.
3 o'clock in the morning last Thursday, up
You
and
know
down
what?
the street here.
We know
Would the select board entertain the possibility of saying, okay, we'll still allow side-by-sides, but stopping with the ATVs?
So I got a question, Marina. You think if we said no more ATVs, that these ATVs are gonna stop?
You need to do the enforcement, either way, you need to do.
But we get back to the police problem,
Right.
it's, yes.
Well, let me tell you a story from about, well, when did we have our first meeting down street? It was what, beginning of March?
Yeah.
I was sitting there waiting for a meeting that was gonna occur at like 1 o'clock. Sheriff went by, right on his butt was a 3-wheeler. At least the kid had a helmet on, but the sheriff just drove through town, no plate on the thing. So I mean, if they're not even gonna stop in an instant like that, we have no hope. You know, I mean, it was insulting. You know, I mean, the kid was literally like almost mocking the sheriff. You know, but by the same token, I know they're told not to chase them because of the danger.
Right.
So I don't know what a good solution is. You know, I mean, short of visiting them happy to catch them at home, not on them.
And you have your main roads marked as VASA trails, so you can't shut your ATVs off to them either, because ATVs part of VASA.
Yeah. So again, unfortunately, not any good solutions.
Well, the solution would be to
do away with the entire ordinance.
away with the whole thing, because I remember when it came up, it's gonna bring so much economic vitality to the town. It probably hasn't brought 1 penny. If anything, it's probably driven people away because it looks awful to have tourists drive through the town, see these 4-wheelers and 3-wheelers tearing around the street, passing cars going up and down the street.
So you're gonna
Yeah,
punish?
but you're talking about a small group
Yeah.
of teenagers
Well,
that are
that's
being
what it
little
is.
rebels
But
and
you're
they
gonna
need
punish
their
it all
parents'
day
control.
law-abiding citizens?
Sometimes you have to do that.
I disagree.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, I guess you've never taught school then.
Well, I think unfortunately we end up doing that way too much, and I mean I get what you're saying. I mean that's probably the only. But even then, like Andy.
Oh yes, you still have some that would do it, but a lot of people, if they
It'd
had
be the
any.
same ones that's doing it right now. It'd be the same ones.
And it's not always young kids either.
Well, there are a few adults that are fall into the young kids category, but just a few of them. But you would have the same ones doing it anyway. They did it before we had it. They're gonna do it after.
Yeah.
State police won't even come to Richford for a home that was broken into.
They
Yes.
won't unless they're on duty and they're in this area on duty.
Call your insurance company, right?
Carolyn,
And, they
sometimes they
call
don't
them.
even, they don't even come in for emergency services, so,
Yeah.
you know.
We have to call border patrol to clear houses for us so we
And
can
why?
actually go
Why
in.
don't they?
Because they're
enough
so
people.
understaffed. I had a state police said that come this November, they are going to be, I think, down around 70 state cops.
And last summer it was 50.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now it's up to 70.
Wow.
yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, they're struggling on their end.
And there's nobody in the academy right now.
Well, I think we better go back to the old gunsmith days.
So Rena, sorry about again. I wish we didn't sound like a broken record. I wish there were better solutions, but.
Just progress on Willow Street and that property, just wanted an update on that.
The property owner has signed the lease amendment, so we'll monitor and revisit.
Well, look in that picture right there, you can see down over there, it's like a shanty town.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff there.
Okay, there is, the town property, we can monitor and, enforce that later on. But I believe a lot of what you're seeing from when I was down there talking to this landowner, a lot of it is actually on his property. And that will not change with this lease agreement. But, so I think that's where
we go with
Zo-
zoning
zoning.
administrator. And the zoning administrator then, yeah.
But we can't, they have come in and signed the, after sending a certified letter.
Okay.
So we've at least gotten that far.
Good, good.
I'll check again with the listers, but I did it one time, and I think according to lister's map, the porch on that house is the end of their property.
Well, then I was shown, when there used to be an ice rink below that, and I was told everything from, down where the ice rink used to be, that you could still see the outline of it. So maybe we do need to go and explore exactly where that is. Are we talking the same house though, John?
Yeah.
Because I think across the street, the same issue is occurring. And I think we should have somebody explore that as well. Because I think across the street, closer to the park, there's somebody that is clearly encroached on, I think, town property. So I think that should be explored as well if you're going, because that's the first thing you see before you see this other property question. So explore both, please.
Yeah.
And, we can go from there as figuring out a way to enforce it.
We're running out of time on the Zoom
Okay.
for Robert.
Okay. Do you have anything else for me?
Thank you.
Bob, do you have anything you want to add to the meeting?
Yes, I've got a couple of quick questions, I think. On the memorandum of understanding, was both parties given drafts so they could discuss it?
Well, the select board discussed it, and Andy brought it to the fire
Executive board.
to the executive board for discussion. So yes,
No, okay, so the members of the association have nothing to say about it.
No, I'm not representing the association, so.
you brought it to the executive board,
They-
and what they did with it, and whether or not they shared it with their members is on them.
Okay, just wondering
Okay.
if it was just the officers or what?
Well, as we've discussed on many occasions, Bob, we're not purview to the operation in the day-to-day running of the fire association.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, well, that's what your question is
I'm just
asking.
talking about the memorandum.
Yeah, okay.
It was a spur of the moment thing and you just didn't let the association members see how they felt about it.
Okay, well, we've answered your question. Anything else, Bob?
Yep, and it also says are the fire chiefs of the town of Richford Fire Department?
Can you clarify what you're asking?
Yeah, it just says that the fire ward recommended to the board are the fire chiefs.
Correct.
They're the chiefs of the Richford Fire Department. It don't state it.
What are you looking for? What do you think it should say?
It should say of the Richford Fire Department. Or is it the fire chiefs of the association?
It's just.
You gotta remember now you've got two things that has fire chiefs into it.
The association fire chiefs, how they term their officers or their whatever is separate and apart from what we do, Bob.
Yeah, I know that.
So I'm not sure what you're asking.
Yeah, never mind that.
Okay. Are you planning to attend further, Bob?
Pardon?
Are you planning to continue to extend? I'm just asking because
No, I'm all done.
the Zoom meeting is running, the Zoom time is running out. We can if you want to continue, we can re-engage, right, Marissa?
Yep, I can.
But if you're not, we won't.
No, I'd rather not.
Okay,
Because I know I'm not gonna get the answers as usual.
okay, Bob, thank you. Move to the approval of the 3:18 minutes. Marissa, you mentioned a,
Yeah, I need to amend
Correction?
that. A correction, yeah, so I said that, that nobody got voted in for moderator, I misspoke. Darlene did get 22 write-ins, so, that constitutes as being voted in,
okay,
so
you'll amend the minutes to reflect
I'll
that.
amend the minutes to reflect that, yes.
And with that, I'll approve minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Reports. Highway report, mud season is winding down, I hope. The grader's been out, at least on my road, I think it, others have said it's drying out. Other than that, just creeping along into spring cleanup stuff. I've been in discussions with Jason, and I have wanted to see the board's thoughts on using ARPA money to buy a volume of stone to work on, so the town can work on the bad spot, the perennial bad spots, the spots are bad every year. They'll have the material, to, go out and work on them in the fall. I was thinking right now that it's still a little wet for them to do a lot of work. If we authorize it, they could do some trucking stockpile. Jason's thought is I don't know if I'm assuming the bottom of the McAllister Road where it's bad, or where it needs it is in the fall when they're slow and they're, looking for things to do. They could go scrape off pull off the dirt a foot, 6 inches, 8 inches a foot, lay stone and then put the dirt back over the top. So in the spring, the road might be a little sounder in that section where it's always bad. ARPA money is intended for infrastructure. I think we've, thought of it more for paving and, more core, buildings and other things, but I didn't know if, since this is something that's been getting worse every year, mud season, it seems like, I didn't know if it was worth investing a little money.
How much are we looking
I was
at?
gonna ask if you had a dollar amount.
I don't know, I was thinking Jason said they'd have to get it out of, the stone you'd want would be the place near St. Albans, as you head out towards Fairfield Pond, that quarry there. He said you can get a load for like $220. So if we stockpiled, I don't know, for like 30 grand, you could probably do like 125, 30 loads. And they could just like one-time permits when they're slow. They can go do sections of the road and it'd be there. So I don't know.
With the ARPA money, we are talking 625,000 or something. Is there ever going to be a public meeting where the public can have a say and bring up things, or that you can discuss with the public and say, hey, this is the chunk of money we got, this is what we've done so far, this is what we're planning to do, so that they know where the money went. And just information instead of, well, we have this amount of money, well, we don't have it now, what did we get from it? I mean,
We could, it's not a bad suggestion. I think before I think we should do that, but I think core-wise, we have to have some meetings beforehand to strategize it, but I think definitely when we have some, a bulleted list of things we'd like to spend the money, I definitely think that would be a wise decision.
Yeah.
So,
just to keep the people informed of what's going on.
so, I know we have spent a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But not the bulk of it. But I was just, the reason I bring this up now is it's kind of the right, they could immediately start hauling and stockpiling, so they would have, have it in the fall.
And what your suggestion is a good suggestion. It just would be nice that people know that's where the money was going.
So I don't know what your guys' thoughts are, discussion.
My only thought would be, we've talked about using the ARPA money for any number of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think we really need to sit down and prioritize what things need to come first, and maybe, that does come under the heading of something that we want to do, but maybe we should
Well, then
kind
I
of
think,
prioritize.
I know Kylie and I have had conversations and, she does plan on trying to set up some meetings
well,
as well.
then I think we ought to do it sooner than later.
Yeah.
Cause like I said, there's a window for them to, spend 3-4 weeks hauling before they actually can start some of their summer projects, the park and ride, some other ditching and other things. So I just think maybe we should try to do it sooner than later. So I don't know if you can work with Kylie to set some meetings up so we can start to prioritize. No, that's all I have for highways. Buildings?
The doors have been ordered for the post office, the upstairs door and the downstairs basement doors. They are still another 11 to 12 weeks out before they come. They're all special ordered. Also replaced the railings at the library and at the post office. So those have been redone. They will be primed and painted. Missing 2 spindles because he didn't get enough of them, so those will be put in hopefully tomorrow. And then he's gonna be painting the faces of the stairs going up because they're all rust run. So he's gonna be taking care of that too, so then that kind of matches the look of the building. The glass for the door down there should be here this week being put in for the post office, for the bank. They got kicked in. The locksmith is supposed to be here this week to do the lock over to the library and the lock here for this bathroom. And I think that's about all I got right now.
Okay. Water and sewer report?
So I only had a meeting, I guess I was on vacation when it was brought up. And we had a little follow-up meeting today. And I already forgot the name of the outfit, but
P.E.G, I think is the name.
basically, the state of Vermont is requiring all towns to do a inventory on water pipes going into residential places. And we learned today it's not only lead they're looking for, but also galvanized. You can cut in any time, Alan, you want, but basically there's a loan and a forgiveness right now, and it's gonna, the estimated is $101,000 to do this from this company. That being said, we qualify for this $101,000 loan forgiveness, and anything more than that would be a regular loan with 0% up to 5 years. Did I miss anything?
No, hopefully the cost would be forgiven.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't result in any cost to the users, and it's another one of those things, we didn't have a say on it.
Yeah.
State stepped in and said we had to do it, and
It's gotta be completed by October. Yeah,
So all we're doing is inventory now?
well, it's making the determination of what kind of metal is in the service line coming into the house, and yeah, it's just an inventory at this point, and we're not getting into, I guess, any of the ramifications of what happens if we do find a service line that's something that it shouldn't be. That, when we had that first meeting, we asked the lady from the state, she really didn't have a good answer for us, so maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe this truly is just inventory at this point, and
but we would be looking for approval to move ahead with this loan so it could get the paperwork going, knowing that we have to.
I guess I would make a motion that we authorize the town clerk, Kylie, to go ahead, sign the application and get the process
I'll
started.
second it for you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anything else on water and sewer?
I can't think of anything right now.
Well, we're having a meeting tomorrow.
Yep.
With Jeremy and folks from Simons, basically to discuss the projects that we need to get done this year. Given the fact that next year, we're thinking Jeremy's probably gonna be tied up with Golf Course Road. So there's some other projects that we need to get out of the way this year, so we're gonna talk about that tomorrow.
Okay. Parks and playgrounds and cemeteries?
Yeah, so I contacted Green Mountain Flagging around the 4th of July parade. And for one flagger, it's a 4-hour minimum, and it's about $450 for one flagger. They said that if they wanted, if I wanted to send them the route of what the parade would look like, they could do their own estimate on how many flaggers that would take. So I'm just giving you guys a number of, I don't know how many flaggers we would need, but she gave me the price of one just so that I would have an estimate.
If you're going down to Dave McCollister's area, Fred, if that's where you wanna stop through, you're looking at least 5 or 6 flaggers.
Yeah. So you're talking a couple $1,000s for a flagging company to come in and shut the roads down. Now, that was a weekend rate. July 4th is on a Thursday. I don't know when we want to actually have the parade.
It'd be Saturday, it's usually the first
Before,
Saturday.
so it would be after, which would be this, like, the
They look at my calendar.
7th. It would be, I believe it's the 7th, I think.
6th.
6th.
The golf, the one like golf tournament's on 5th, so that would be the next,
Yeah,
which is
You
Friday.
say-
it's the first full weekend in July, so it'd be the 6th.
The 6th, okay.
Alright.
So if we wanna move forward with that, just need to let me know. If not, if there's any other suggestions of how to close the roads down for the 4th of July parade. I definitely put up a post or two on the rec department website around, forming a committee for the parade, but have not had any responses. I also contacted,
Marion?
no, I've not contacted Marion, but I'm gonna put that on my list. I forget the company's name, I could pull up the quote. But there's a company that we've used in the past for cemetery repair. And I think several years ago, they repaired this Troy Street Cemetery. But I met with the guy who did the work there on Friday. And he gave me an estimate of $3,500 to fix all of the damage that the trees caused. And some of them are not necessarily fixable, but he said what he could do is kind of piece some things together and at least get them off the ground, so it would make it easier to mow. So again, just getting some estimates. I did look into, Marissa had given me some grant information, and I did look into some grant stuff. Unfortunately, the Vermont Old Cemetery Association is not issuing any grants right now for cemeteries, but it is the town's responsibility to take care of the cemeteries. And I was down in that poor cemetery, it's a mess. And he said it's been several years. I mean, I want to say almost 15 years since they've touched that cemetery in the past. So I also contacted Brandon Wilson about possibly doing something creative with the trees that are going to be coming down. He's the wood carver on Richford Slide Road. He did that nice eagle in the park. But just kind of asking him if we could find some money, what that would look like. So he hasn't gotten back to me with like a quote or anything or if the trees are even salvageable to do something like that. But I just thought it would be a very cool kind of thoughtful piece for the town as people drive through. So and I did say that I would look into some grant money, like more on the artistic side of things. And then
Can I interrupt for a second? We have one quote for tree removal. Did we ever get a second?
I think you said Jason was getting some more, right?
Yeah. So-
He hasn't
He
given us
hasn't
any
shared
yet,
any,
but
okay.
one of the things back on my list from January was to go to the school and ask if there was any volunteers, because I know the kids all have to do some community services about painting the gazebo. But before I approached, and I can, kind of oversee it too. I don't mind, being down there with the kids and overseeing it, but where we would get money for paint, or just paint in general, if we decide we want to have the seniors donate their time to paint the gazebo, because it is chipping and needs a little bit of attention.
What's in the parks and playground budget, I guess that's that.
Yeah, you have to talk to Kylie about talk with her about the budget for that.
And if that doesn't work out,
There's a very
Yeah.
small budget, so.
I know we have,
There must be a month.
they did it they kinda did some touch up
Yeah.
last year, so there might be some, I don't know if they used all the
I know
paint
some
or
of the
not,
repairs
but-
had come out of my budget for it
Okay.
So, in the
a couple
town-
years ago with the
in the
stairs and
town,
stuff.
but I can dedicate, if you wanna do it soon, town guys can spend some time painting.
Okay.
So just let me
Yep.
know, and I'll work with Jason to make it happen quicker than later. Cause we probably want it done before prom,
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
May I say on the park, the garbage and everything needs to be cleaned up, everything's overrunning. I was up there today. And before, if we do get crowds for next Monday,
Yes.
it looks awful to have all the garbage all over the place, and
Okay.
the doggy bags are all messed up, and the
Okay,
little
I
door,
do
the little
have
door
some-
is open, and
Okay, I did get those in and I did give them to Jason, so we can just.
there's some bags there, but
There
the
are
little
bags,
door to
okay.
the little holder is open, and
Okay.
the bags aren't, if the door is shut, they aren't where you could pull one out.
Okay.
How do we wanna handle that? Do we wanna work with, is that part of John's contract, or does he do that he just does that? Or do we wanna have?
I believe they always used to do it.
I know
So
Kylie
Bruce
usually, if
always
so,
did it.
we've had complaints before, and we usually just contact him and he usually will go and pick it up,
Okay, so do you wanna take care of
I
that then?
think.
Is it in his contract, I guess would be my first.
I'm not sure, I'll talk to
Well,
Kylie tomorrow about it and
We
we'll
can
see
just
if we
ask,
can
and
get
if
it
he
taken care
doesn't,
of.
we'll go to the next step. And we can, the town crew can pick up the trash up and just drop the trash off at John's.
Huh?
May first.
May, no, 15th, I think, right? Is it, or it starts May 1st?
Isn't it usually the first weekend in May?
I can't remember.
I don't,
That's what I thought it was.
First Saturday in May usually. Okay.
You're up.
Town admin.
so I just been reviewing the personnel policy, going through all the policies, trying to update them. I know some of them are very old and outdated. Animal control ordinance is one of them I'm gonna try to work on as well. That's a little bit tougher because we gotta go through the state and proper meetings but I am working on that one, personnel policy. A few grants, highway paving grants coming up for the 15th of April. Kylie and I are working on that one with Jason to get that submitted. I do have an increase to the mowing contract for an issue that came up last meeting with the war monument. They have put in for a $300 increase, and that's for spring and fall cleanup. So they'll do the mowing, all the cleanup at that area. So I guess I just need an approval to add on.
I would make a motion to approve that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay.
And that's it for me.
Okay.
Other business?
Cameras, we had people, the camera people that take care of our cameras were up here. Their suggestion is, we've got some older cameras that are down toward, the fire department and at the corner. Their suggestion, if we wanted to add cameras, and I know it's been talked about, to upgrade the system, and I had asked about, different areas that we could put cameras in town. I know the parks have been both mentioned, and we included that, and I kind of thought, well, we got that parking right going across the river, that might be, something we want to do. So it'd be an update to the camera system, and we'd have to put some sort of transmitter up here to get the park up near the church. I don't have an official estimate yet, but with all the upgrades and the additional cameras, I was told we're probably looking around 40,000. So, yeah.
sounds like a lot, but
It really
Yeah.
isn't.
you almost have to look at that as
I will say,
a quasi law enforcement, because that is a resource when there is an issue, that when it's on camera.
It's
it-
proof.
Yeah,
that,
we'll have cameras here at
Who
the
will
town
come to
hall.
enforce anything?
well, I will say Andre's been very good about that.
Yes.
Mhm.
My father got the marks down at the other end of the bridge here. The guy was sat there for 2 minutes doing a burnout. Gave that to Andre. Andre visited this character. The playground cameras caught the individuals that broke in and destroyed, part of the building down there. So they are worth it.
But do the state police get involved?
The state police is actually involved with this one down at the playground. That's their case.
so, okay.
I just wondered because they don't wanna come here for.
Any other business?
Do we need to do an executive?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have an executive. And there may be something that comes out of it. But other than that, I think it's, I have a motion to go to executive.
I'll make a motion to go to executive.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I, do I have a motion to increase the animal control officer's monthly pay from $500 to $650?
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty. If there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.